HCWA fans, the voice of HCWA, Matt Mahoney here, and this is a very exclusive new thing I got going on. It's called a sit-down podcast. You Shoot with Matt Mahoney, and my first guest, telling his life story. A man that's never really been my favorite person, I would say, Mr. Technical Artist, Robert Ash. Robert Ash, the floor is all yours, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say thank you for that, for finally introducing me right. You did it earlier tonight, but, you know, there's a little bit of love lost between me and you.
I would say so. Look, so let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back not to when you were born, but when you were born into pro wrestling. Tell us a little bit about Robert Ash, the pro wrestler. When did you start in the business? Who trained you, and what motivated you to really want to do pro wrestling?
Well, man, I gotta honestly say what really started me into wrestling was... Actually, I'll tell you what got me into wrestling, what captivated me and held me and watched it every week, watched it every month, pay-per-views and everything, was the 1-2-3 Kid.
Not a bad one.
Not the later years, but the 1-2-3 Kid.
Yeah. That's really not bad. Me personally, I would say Bret Hart, and to what I do, I would say Gordon Soley, guys like Tony Schiavone and things like that. But that's a good one, 1-2-3 Kid. I can see that in your style.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that in your style.
It definitely comes out.
From that point, where in Robert Ash's life did you say, I want to be a pro wrestler?
I watched through the years, and I went through the Attitude Era. I saw that. That was a very good era.
Oh, yeah.
And then to me, it lacked, maybe not the physicality of it, because there is physical wrestlers.
That it is.
Fit Finlay, was one of them.
Fit for years.
Steven Regal.
Oh, yeah. God.
After a little while, that really got me interested in looking at it. And, those were the people that really stood out, and just on a whim, kind of like on a whim one day.
Yeah.
I had a buddy, J.R. Phoenix. He came up to me and was like, let's start doing this wrestling thing. Let's start on this independent scene. So we went to a show in Thomasville, North Carolina. I won't say the
please don't. Yeah, let's not do that.
Because I don't.
We won't get sued.
I don't even know if they're around anymore.
Yeah.
Because this was 9 years ago.
Oh gosh, 9 years. 9-year pro here.
After that, it was, we went to a show. Gosh, I can't even remember where. It was out in the boonies. But Jerry Lawler was there, and
wow.
He was wrestling. The boogeyman,
Jimmy Valiant.
Yeah,
it's got to be everyone's idol in this area. I would say the Boogeyman's probably inspired more young people to get into pro wrestling than Hogan inspired people to take vitamins in the 80s.
And we talked to Boogie for probably about an hour, and he invited us up to Shawsville and check his training camp out.
Awesome place.
Oh yeah, and so I spent probably the next year and a half training there.
So you trained under legendary, handsome Jimmy Valiant, Boogie Woogie Man, and Hall of Famer, who actually, little known fact, Jimmy Valiant went into his first Hall of Fame in 1973.
You realize that was before I was born, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just telling the people that a lot of people don't realize that Valiant had only been in the business at that time like 10 years, so it tells you how old and how long Jimmy's been in the business. But he went into his first Hall of Fame in 1973.
Love you, Boogie.
Yeah, shout out to the Boogeyman. So let's get into a little deeper. What makes Robert Ash tick? So now you've been in the business. You've got the itch. You've been trained by the Boogeyman. Now, where did Robert Ash come from?
Well, we played the video games. We did the whole shebang, like...
Backyard wrestled.
I did that when I was really young.
Yeah.
We set mattresses up in the basement, and we had wrestling mats, high school wrestling mats over top of that.
Yeah, screw Mick Foley's dive. We did that way before that.
So that's kind of where I started, but there was no training, there was no set like, this is how to do this, this is why you're going to do that, you know.
He wasn't really smartened up yet.
Right. So, you know, this guy named J.R. Phoenix, he's been here.
Yeah,
you know.
I know J.R. Phoenix.
Yeah, and you know, he was like, you know, Phoenix scored. So I was like, well, I'll be Robert Ashe because the Phoenix arises from the ashes.
Well, going from that, didn't you actually start as Diamond Damon's partner? Damien Diamond's partner? Because for a long time I heard, oh, well, here's Damien Diamond, and then here's this guy, Robert Ashe.
Yeah, that's the way it went.
Yeah.
You know.
So you were kind of in the shadows there for a while.
Yeah, I was.
But now Robert Ashe could be the #1 contender for the heavyweight title. I mean, that's how known he is in the HWA. So you've come a long way from that point.
I've sort of defended it when it wasn't my own.
Yes, you were. Yes, in the cage match, Johnny Knoxville, I called it.
Yeah. Not only did you catch it, you called it.
Yes, I did. Yeah. So that was a great matchup, and it actually put you in a different pedestal. And in my mind, if you wouldn't have missed that almost a year, you would probably already be the HWA heavyweight champion. What's your thoughts on that?
There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, I was on that path. You know, I was a 3-time Carolina Classic champion.
Yep. Tag team champ.
Even though I don't really care for Bobby very much, but I mean, props to him.
Yeah.
He's won it 5 times or whatever.
Yeah. You and Vice?
Yeah, we were the tag team champions for about 8 months. We won the tag team
TLC.
Yeah, we won that. Well, that was right before the cage match.
Yeah, right before the cage. Yeah. So you've had a heck of a career here. You was on such a roll, then all of a sudden crash. No Robert Ashe. 9 months. What happened?
Well, there's a lot to lead up to that, but I mean, you got to tell the story even before that. You know, even before HCWA was born. I mean,
so we're going back to the SCWA.
Yeah, we're going back to SCWA. That's when, because you asked me, I never got to reply.
Sorry, I'm rude. I get known to cut people off.
When we were doing the Phoenix Corporation, the hit list and everything, you know, that was good. You know, I mean, it was fun. But like you said, you know, always in the shadows. When you have a manager or, you know, a lead guy always saying, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, but yet he's got a whole posse with him, 7 or 8 other guys, and he's not talking about the leader is not only talking about what he's doing, but he's supposed to talk about what everyone else is doing.
Of course, yeah. But if you know J.R. Phoenix, you know that didn't really go that way.
Well, that's why I turned on him. Yeah. Actually in SCWA, they kind of kicked me out, and then I had a phone call with someone who I will not name at this point.
Yeah.
That
It's all right. This is our shoot. You can name it.
Well, was that? No, I better not.
All right.
I better not. I'm tempted, but I better not. I better not. He knows who he is. Let's put it that way.
All right.
And he told me. I don't know if you know that. Do you know who Simply Perfect is?
I've heard of him.
Them,
yeah, the group, yeah, I've heard of it. This is SCWA. I was vaguely familiar with some of that. I've watched a lot of it on YouTube until the devil Mark Cates took over, and I can say that.
I am the one that got the pin victory over Simply Perfect.
Ah.
Not Diamond, not J.R. Phoenix, this guy sitting right beside me.
Look at that. That's impressive. And not only that, I mean, all your other racked up victories, we can go on for days.
That was my 4th show for SCWA.
Your 4th show for SCWA. It's going to be a perfect stopping point right there. We'll be right back with more of the story and the life and the career of the man, the myth, the technical artist, Robert Ashe, on I Shoot with Matt Mahoney.